That breaking news out of the East County where an explosive brush fire is burning, prompting evacuations near Alpine. Thank you for watching. I'm Alicia Summers.
And I'm Steve Price. Let's go ahead and take a live look at what's being called the Valley Fire. CAL FIRE says it started around 3 this afternoon in the area of Carve Acre Road in Hapatul Valley. That's about 10 miles south of Alpine and I-8. Now, the fire has now grown to 1,500 acres, and unfortunately, it is 0% contained at this hour. Firefighters dealing with triple-digit heat. There's gusting wind out there. That's fanning the flames. A shelter-in-place alert did go out around 4 o'clock. Now evacuations have been ordered for residents of the Carve Acre and Lawson Valley communities. Once again, Carve Acre and Lawson Valley areas under evacuation orders. We have also heard from SDG&E that thousands of people in that area have lost their power, as well as crews are now working to do their best to try and get power turned back on to that area.
All right, I believe we have Heather Hope right now. Heather, you're live at the scene. Heather, what do you see out there? What can you tell us?
Yeah, as you can see, the heavy smoke just right behind me, and this is nearing some homes that they have been threatened. We've talked to residents who have just been camped out along the road. They have been able to get back into their homes, and people who are up there near the fire haven't been able to get out. We spoke with one resident who was out here with his 3-year-old grandson as his wife is still up there. Here's what he had to say.
My biggest fear is just hopefully my house doesn't burn down. Yeah, we're waiting, and you know, we're just hoping everyone on that side, because they won't let them evacuate yet, or you know, is safe. That they, you know, when time comes, they can get out.
That's Barton Shappett. He was saying that his wife told him that 2 homes up there had some fire damage, and it's about a quarter mile away from his home. They said they saw some neighbors trying to fight the fire themselves to get some of those flames out. And they said the only road in and the only way out has been blocked, as authorities haven't allowed them to come down. And CAL FIRE says they have multiple firefighters on the ground as well as in the air. This fire, of course, under investigation. Here's more from CAL FIRE.
Well, we have air tankers fighting the fire from the air in addition to helicopters. They're laying down water, they're laying down fire retardant to try and get ahead of this thing and try and slow down the intensity. And then we have ground forces on the ground as well that are putting in hose lays and fighting the fire from the ground.
So much uncertainty still out here. Some residents have just been camped out here, parked out here for over 2 hours now. Firefighters saying they continue to have crews on the scene, making those aerial attacks and those ground attacks, as again, like you said, this fire has swelled to 1,500 acres. Steve and Alicia.
Heather, thank you. And as you could tell, extremely dangerous fire conditions out there right now.
Let's go ahead and send things over to meteorologist Sean Stiles for the very latest on what those fire crews can expect out there this evening. And then again tomorrow, because this thing's going to be burning for a while, Sean.
It is, Steve, and this is a look towards the east from Otay Mountain, looking towards the east. And conditions out in Alpine right now, still 102 degrees. Dew points at about 55%. 55 degrees, and the winds are east at 9 miles per hour. So a Santa Ana-like condition with very low humidities out there. And let's take a look at the entire county. It's at 22% in Alpine, 13% in Alpine, 22% in Julian, 19% in Mount Laguna. And it's not until you get to the coastline where the humidities come up just a little bit. Here's a look at those winds that are steady out of the east across much of the inland microclimates. And the forecast temperatures tomorrow are going to be equally as hot, so we'll see some near record-breaking temperatures. Once again, we have an excessive heat warning that is through tomorrow night at 9 p.m., but the National Weather Service will reissue that as they update that daily. Looking at the forecast for tomorrow along the coastline, 92 degrees, and for you folks in those inland microclimates, there's that 110. We get a little relief on Monday, and then finally on Tuesday it gets down to our average, but then more heat expected in the second half of the work week. We'll take a look at that and the record-breaking temperatures across the county coming up.
Our significant heat wave can be very dangerous to your health. Experts say you really need to take some extra precautions.
And the number one thing you could do to prevent yourself from getting sick is drink lots of water, even if you don't feel thirsty.
It's really important to try to stay hydrated, and more than you think that you probably are needing and feeling in that moment.
Other things you could do, spend time in air conditioning or in water, the beach, the pool. Take a cold shower or bath. It's another option. Don't forget to check in on those that are most at risk. At any point, if you think you may be experiencing heat exhaustion or stroke, seek medical attention.
And while many people might hit the beach during the scorching Labor Day weekend, a lot of others are staying home.
And that means extra stress on the state's power grid. News 8's Tim Blodgett tells us what we can do to help prevent outages, all while staying cool this weekend.
With the heat blazing into the triple digits in some parts of San Diego and the coronavirus keeping people in their homes, it's no wonder that SDG&E is reporting increased usage in the electrical grid.
You know, the temperatures, they're going to be really hot. Everyone's going to want to crank up their air conditioning.
Sarah Prince from SDG&E says that Cal ISO, the state's energy operator, is going to be closely watching the electrical consumption to avoid planned and unplanned outages throughout the state.
The grid conditions, they're very dynamic. We are waiting to hear from CAISO what the next steps are.
Earlier today, Cal ISO issued a flex alert until Monday, calling on Californians to reduce the amount of energy they consume this weekend. According to SDG&E, San Diego was able to avoid outages last major heat wave.
Energy conservation is going to be the most important thing. You know, we were able to avoid these widespread rotating outages last time this happened, due in part because everyone took action.
So what are some ways that you can be smart to reduce your energy consumption this weekend?
Instead of using big appliances like your dryer, have the California sun help you out.
Simply drawing the blinds can drastically reduce the temperature in a room.
So I'm going to show you guys a cheap, efficient way to stay cool in the summer, all while conserving energy. I'm going to build a swamp cooler.
What you'll need is a bag of ice, styrofoam cooler, battery-powered fan, a PVC joint, a marker, and a knife.
The first thing you're going to want to do is trace an outline of the fan and the PVC joint somewhere on your cooler. Next, you're simply just going to cut out the circles from your cooler.
Put the fan and the pipe in.
And the last thing we got to do is just fill this sucker up with ice. So there you have it, a portable air conditioning that will keep you cool all throughout the summer and save you money on your power bill. Steve and Alicia.
New this evening, San Diego State ordering students to stay inside this weekend after 184 students tested positive for the virus. The stay-at-home order goes into effect tonight at 10. It will be lifted Tuesday morning. 2,600 students live on campus right now, and 150 were already under quarantine. The lockdown comes in response to parties occurring in the college area over previous weekends. Private security is now going to patrol the college area this weekend.
Today, San Diego County released new coronavirus data, and the numbers are trending in the wrong direction. For the second day in a row, the daily count for cases is above 400. The last time it was this high was in early August. Today's positive cases make up 6% of more than 7,000 tests. 3 new deaths were reported today, bringing the total number to 704.
Well, with the heat up a notch this Labor Day weekend, big crowds scattered across beaches in San Diego, but county officials are still urging everyone to play it safe amid the COVID-19 pandemic. News 8's Teresa Sardina has more from Mission Beach.
Alicia and Steve, this is the third holiday through this COVID-19 pandemic. We went through Memorial Day weekend, 4th of July, and now Labor Day weekend. And with the heat wave and businesses reopening, lifeguards tell us this holiday weekend, the crowds are even heavier.
Clearly, of the 3 holidays, this one seems to be the busiest.
Marine Safety Lieutenant Rich Stropke says you look out on the beach and there's hardly a break in the sand. He says the holiday, heat wave, and restaurants reopening indoors is drawing large crowds to the beach area, especially to take in the onshore wind. Along the San Diego coastline, officials continue to warn the public of COVID-19 risks, ramping up public safety efforts for Labor Day weekend with the goal of reducing the spread of COVID-19. In Carlsbad, beach parking is closed at Ocean Street. Volunteers even distributing free masks on the seawall and on the beach. Mission and Pacific Beach packed.
I still fully believe in the importance of mask wearing and social distancing, which is why we're like, okay, it's time to leave now that it's hot and everyone's here.
Jasmine Beliza and Kevin McGlone hope this weekend's beach traffic doesn't turn into another closure.
And we recognize that those holiday weekends contributed a lot to spikes in this county, and so I'm not trying to contribute to those cases.
Heavier crowds, more patrol. Lifeguards focusing on water safety.
As always, right, we get the crowds, we still have rough conditions. We have rip currents, we have stingrays.
Law enforcement making sure beachgoers are following the rules and regulations. As the public health order is still in place, Lieutenant Strapke says if you're heading out to the beaches, whether it's hanging out on the sand, cruising the boardwalk, or visiting the bars and restaurants, keep in mind the social distancing and wear a face covering. I'll send it back to you.